Hey guys, Kate here. So today I'm just going to give you a quick Canopy tour. My mates take the piss out of me when I do them, but I call them the Canopy tour. It's the only thing that's actually finished on the car, so I can't actually give you a rig rundown today. I'm not going to call it a rig rundown because that's copywriting people's ideas, but I'm calling it a once over. So I'm not going to give you a once over today on the car. Instead I'll give you one on the Canopy. So let's get into it, show you a couple of things that I've done and hopefully give you a couple of ideas for your own trip, eh? So it's basically took me almost 3 weeks to completely build from what it was, just basic white Canopy shell. And you know, spent a lot of time, and it only took me about $3 to build the whole thing, but at the end of it, it's completely worthwhile. So I've got 2 drawers in here that basically have, they were all of Miller's clothes, these are all my clothes. I had a little step, came straight off here, came down, came off this, still fits a 37, sitting the 35s last time. Satin black, the whole thing I had powder coated. Basically I've insulated the whole inside of the Canopy, which you can see if I take this out. So yeah, that's all my cabling behind. You can see in there that I've basically put acoustic insulation as well as reflective insulation that basically just keeps the whole Canopy sounding alright. If it's raining, you don't hear a lot of stuff. If you close the Canopy door and get inside it, you actually can't really hear much outside. So on the trip I had a mattress sitting, 100 mil mattress that extended the whole edge of the wall. And if I actually get inside here, you know, it's actually not too bad. Like if I was 100 mil higher, I'd be about there. So I'd still have about 500, I think it was about 650 mil from the base to the top. Inside, I've obviously got all my disco lights, so I can change it from color to color to color, increase the brightness of them, decrease the brightness. It's a bit of mood lighting, you know, for your old whatever's happening inside the Canopy. That's all good. Hot water shower that I used about 0 times, so that was freaking useless. Little 12-volt fan that I have in this corner that just blows like that. He's just wired into a little plug, cigarette plug that I put up in that corner there. Obviously I got my whole speaker system. I'll turn that off now. So I've got my head unit I can turn on from inside here. It also had Bluetooth connection and an AUX if I wanted to. Here I've got my C-Tech charger, so it tells me everything about the batteries, how it's charging, what it's discharging at, how many hours it's got left to discharge, and battery percentage. It's only sitting like that because I put in the wrong amp hourage amount, but that's okay. I've got a cigarette lighter and phone charger there, so I usually use that to charge my phone. So I just have cables coming off here and sitting on this little inlet, basically circuit breaker to protect all that gear. A red arc charger, power point from the inverter on the other side, and then because I'm a Sparky, I've wired this with a normal house I don't know, switch. So it's 2-way switch, so you can see there that turns on and that turns on up there. And this guy is those lights, and then basically that's for my water pump. They're for rear reverse lights that I can also switch on inside the cab, and I can switch it on the other side, you'll see in a sec. They're for the cooking lights on the other side, and they're for the exact same ones but on the other side. Obviously I got my sub just there. And yeah, that's basically this side I had. So that space there extends the whole way to the back, and there's also a little drug compartment down the back. So yeah, whatever you want to hide down the back there, you fucking stash, no one's gonna find it. But I had flippers and hoo-ha kind of hanging out down there. And through here basically I had my chairs, and I had toilet paper and stuff and spare tools behind all this, because the chairs only came to about here, all the way at the back. So at the moment I've just got my tools there because I'm working on the car. So that's basically this side. I also have spare cables here to do a future central locking system with these. Yeah, so that's this side. No, one more thing. So I had through here Velcro basically, and what Miller and I did, well mainly Miller did every night when we put up to camp, is when we were sleeping inside here, we basically just had a a fly net that came out and rested over the whole front, just through here, so you could sleep with the door completely open and no one would be able to see you. As well as if you get inside, these windows are actually acrylic tinted, so they're tinted there, tinted at the back and tinted there, so no one can actually see in. You can see perfectly out though, not an issue. Also, I used some little door handles from Kmart, just some 12.9 high tensile bolts. Climb up the side, obviously got those. Got a King's awning, that's shit. At the moment it's fitting a 37 on the back, full of water, yummy. I'd set them up for 35s, so I had to take off one bolt down there that actually conveniently snapped, but still pretty solid for a 37. I'm gonna put a strap that'll start from there, run over the top and strap it down so that it keeps it tight. Just got some burger lights off eBay, put those on. They popped off because this was from Gunshot, so I've clearly labeled there. That's storage that runs the whole way through to the front on each side. That's my little step that I use to step up on the side there. All these are obviously lockable. There are reverse lights. That's a reverse camera that I got going. If you go to this side now, this is where I have my gas cylinder. So my gas literally just plugs straight into a 9 kilo gas bottle. I've just got this taped up because it keeps coming loose. And these basically come out of these outlets here. As well as I forgot to mention that I've got this water pump on the other side. So I forgot to mention, so on this side completely I've got my whole water system. So I've got a rear tank that's an 80 litre tank that I've put on a slight incline, so that's my outlet there. This is my inlet just in there, and this is basically my breather. I made that one, which is about 40 litres worth of PVC pipe that just wraps like this. And I simply made that kind of just has an inlet there, an outlet there, and a breather as well. So these are all controlled by this breather just here. And then I've got inlets, which is this guy, so I control what goes in. I can see what's on, I can see what's off, I can see what's on here. So if I want to be drawing from both tanks, I can. If I just want to be drawing from one tank, I can. So basically I just plumbed all this stuff. I found all this stuff off out of Bunnings, so it's not too hard. This is all just drinking water pipe that isn't going to deteriorate through time. And then yeah, just a couple of fittings from a couple of local plumbing suppliers. Made up a couple of T-pieces and stuff and got all these things mounted together. I've got a pretty powerful little water pump that's shit house. It always fucking seizes on me. So I've got to figure out a better one that's probably waterproof, that's not going to die every 5 seconds, but that is that. So that's my water system. That's the inside of my canopy on the passenger side. So the inside of my canopy on my driver's side basically looks something like this. So this is my drop down table that I made up in the Arvo with my couple of mates. So obviously my mate came and routed the edges off, it was a chippy. But basically I just got some big tech screws and just bolt them straight through there, cut a little bit of timber off, a couple of piano hinges. This just sits in here like that. And basically, if I extend this up, I can extend it to any height basically and level off this surface, so it's not actually too bad to cook. At the moment, yeah, she's sitting pretty high mainly because she's on fucking 37s. But I do have this little step here because I'm only 5'11". Doesn't make it too bad at all, comes up to your stomach height. So if I can find a bigger one of these or something that's taller or something that collapses down or something that's longer, it'd probably be more ideal. But you know, that works for me. It's cheap, it literally cost me 60 bucks from Bunnings. Look, it's not alloy and it's not gonna be as light as alloy and it may not be as big, but you know what? It's 60 bucks compared to like the friggin' $4 kitchen. So, you know, for what it does the job perfectly. It takes literally 3 seconds to fold up and pack down. Thanks for coming. This is just my horizontal fridge slide. So when I made the actual canopy, everything was kind of based around the size of my fridge, because that was always going to dictate basically how big this wall was going to be, which was always going to dictate how much sleeping room I was going to have. So basically once I figured out the right fridge that I wanted, I basically bought the right fridge slide and then built everything around that. So yeah, this side I've still yet to paint these or do something better with them, so they're not these bloody big silver things, but yeah, it's just these big silver Bunnings brackets that just hold them in. I had Bunnings baskets, 5 Bunnings baskets along the top. I've got my inverter here, my amp. If I need to ever get in this side, I basically can. I've just got to take this shelf off, which is only literally 12 little tech screws, and the whole thing will pull straight out. So yeah, you can see obviously up there, it's all insulated again on both sides. It just holds in there through that little bracket holder. Everything's fused, whatnot. So, and as I was saying before, with the 12 volt setup with 2-way switching, here I've still got phone chargers, another cigarette cable, another power point if I was plugging in coffee maker and hoo-ha. But yeah, this side's all my 2-way switching. So these are my lights there as well, and then all these turn on the other lights on the other side. That was my water pump, and that were my rear reverse lights. And yeah, so that was this side of the canopy. So as well, I've got that Darchi awning that literally is a 270-degree one, so it comes the whole way out to there, goes the whole way around the back. As well as, I should probably mention, part of the canopy setup is that 250 watt solar panel that probably the car's half famous for. So that big boy I literally just have on a couple of Bunnings brackets, just straight there, that I've just tech screwed straight into my roof basket, roof cage, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, that just literally holds it up like that. And then yeah, have that King's one. As well as with that gas cylinder, I've got it basically plumbs into here, which is for my hot water shower. This is an outlet on the other side as well. There's a water outlet as well. So basically you can just turn on the water pump from inside the canopy and just open it like that, and water that comes straight out as it's doing now. And yeah, so that's basically the whole canopy setup. Hope you liked it, guys. Until then, I'll do another one on the full car setup a bit later. But until then, hope you enjoy and have a good one.